breaking news for the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets decided to part ways with DeMarcus Cousins. So basically, the Rockets said that they wanted to go to a smaller court, a smaller like front court, and that was the reason for replacing DeMarcus Cousins. Um, this was originally reported by Shams Charania, and he said the Houston Rock, and I quote, the Houston Rockets and center DeMarcus Cousins are planning to part ways in coming days. Sources tell The Athletic. Houston wants to go smaller, younger in front court where Christian Wood returns, and this allows Cousins to find an opportunity elsewhere. This year, DeMarcus Cousins has averaged 9.6 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, and he has been shooting 37.6% from the field. Adrian Wojnarowski also made a little bit of a report on this. He said, and I quote, the Houston Rockets have guaranteed center DeMarcus Cousins $2.3 million in his contract for the rest of the season. Teams have until February 27th to make that decision on non-guaranteed deals. You know what, Nate? Let me start off with this first, okay? Look, I didn't see the Houston Rockets getting rid of DeMarcus Cousins, but like I understand why they did it. Obviously, they want to go. They said they want to go smaller on their front court, you know. And I mean, with John Wall and Victor Oladipo now there, you know, they have a nice little duo right there. And Christian Wood is actually turning into a very good player, so that could be part of their like big three. He's averaging, I believe, I'm gonna look it up right now because he's been out for a little bit, but he has been doing pretty good for this Rockets team. So Christian Wood has been averaging, right here. This season, he's been averaging 22 points per game and 10 rebounds, which I think is very, very good for somebody. He's been here since 2015 in the NBA since 2015. He's played for the 76ers, the Hornets, the Bucks, the Pelicans, and the Detroit Pistons. And this is his fifth team in his fifth year, which I think is pretty interesting. So he's been with a different team every year. But I mean, overall, man, he's been doing a pretty good job. You know, I expect him to have like a good future going forward as the Rockets' probably new center, you know. I expect him to have a good future going forward because he's been playing pretty good when he's been playing. And I understand why why DeMarcus Cousins, you know, they decided to make that decision regarding releasing DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins, I feel like will end up going to a team. There is rumors that like the Celtics are looking into him. I'm not sure if those are true. So I wouldn't be too optimistic about that because I'm not sure if they're true. But DeMarcus Cousins will probably go to a different team. But look, man, I think DeMarcus Cousins' prime days are beyond him. You know, he was a great center in his prime, but I think now they're just beyond his. It's just beyond his days, and it's really unfortunate to see. You know, because DeMarcus Cousins really did have a good career with Sacramento, and partially with the New Orleans Pelicans. And then I remember when the Golden State Warriors signed him, everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Warriors have become like a super team and everything like that." And then didn't end up working out with DeMarcus Cousins over there. And since then, he's kind of like, you know, going to that downhill. But who's to say, you know, his career won't? Who's to say, you know, his career won't end up going back to his prime? You know, sometimes that does happen. But with DeMarcus Cousins, I just can't see it happening, man. I can't. You know, like injuries have affected him a lot. He's had a lot of injuries throughout his career, and I think those have taken a toll on him now. And honestly, I just feel like, you know, if he's gonna go on a team and he's gonna rejuvenate his career, I feel like he has to go to the right team to do that. And I'm not sure. Maybe the Celtics are the right team. I'm not sure about that. I feel like it's got to be a team that like maybe doesn't have a lot of scores, you know, because the more scores, the less scoring that DeMarcus Cousins does, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like if he goes to a team like probably like the Pistons, I feel like that's a good team for him right there, maybe. Oh wait, excuse me, Andre Drummond's on the Pistons. Never mind. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. Andre Drummond's on the Pistons, I believe. I'm just gonna look that up real quick. Sorry, I'm just looking up that real quick. Oh no, he's for Andre Drummond plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. My bad, I'm sorry. But so then with that being said, I do think the Pistons would be a good team for DeMarcus Cousins. You know, I feel like they don't have a lot of scoring. That'll end up forcing DeMarcus Cousins to do a lot of scoring. They have Blake Griffin, but Blake Griffin obviously hasn't been that great this year neither. So with that being said, I wish DeMarcus Cousins the best of luck in the future, and I hope that he does go to a team that rejuvenates his career because when he was in his prime, he was a very entertaining player to watch. But if he ends up going to a team with a lot of scoring, then I just can't see it working out with him. So with that being said, I'll pass it on to you, Nate. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll pick up from there. Go to DeMarcus Cousins and the Houston Rockets. Obviously, I've been hearing a lot of those rumors about Celtics getting DeMarcus Cousins because I'm a Celtics fan. I follow the Celtics a lot, like I do with all my other teams. But again, don't take my word for it. I don't necessarily know if that's what they're going for. Um, I mean, hey man, at least he's getting paid. At least they're giving him his contract for the rest of the season. But I mean, he could go to another team. I mean, it's very possible. I don't know. I can't remember if the NBA has a trade deadline. I know baseball does. I know hockey does, but I can't remember. I think they do. I think they do. Yeah, I think basketball does. So I mean, he could go to another team in this season. Maybe he can stay with them for the next few seasons to come. I don't know. I don't know what can happen. I mean, personally, I think the best place to revive his career right now, if you were to ask me, could be the Celtics. That's just me though. But again, like you said, the more scorers, the less scoring he's gonna do. I mean, we got a lot of scorers enough as it is, so I don't know. I don't know if that would be a place of interest for him. Um, I'm trying to think about what team he could go to.
I think teams that don't have a lot of scoring. So like you can go with the Pistons. The
Go with the
Knicks would be a good
Pistons.
team for him. Because if you remember when he was in Sacramento, there wasn't a lot of scoring. He was like that scoring option right there, so
Right.
he was very good. When he went to New Orleans, they had Anthony Davis, but he was that second guy. When you go to Golden State, you got four
Everybody's
score,
scoring.
you got
Yeah.
three scores as it is. And at the time, Draymond Green was slowly going, slowly, not becoming that all star, but he was still a very, very great player, and he is very, very good right now. And I think Draymond Green is pretty good right now, despite him not averaging like double digits in points. He does have some pretty great stats and assists and rebounds. So like teams like that is not going to really, you know what I'm saying? It's not really going to elevate him. You know what I'm saying? I think he needs to
Yeah.
go to like the Pistons, the Knicks. Um,
You could go to the Magic if that's a
No, they got
viable option.
Vucevic. Vucevic is an all-star center. So I don't think that'll work neither. Um, I think he's got to go to a team that doesn't have a lot of scoring. So I think the Pistons or the Knicks is a pretty good team for him. It'll force him to become that all-star center that he's been. Now, if he goes to one of those teams and he doesn't like perform the way we would have wanted him to perform with those teams, then he's definitely past his prime. But I can't 100% say that right now until I see him on one of those teams. But when the reports come out that DeMarcus Cousins is signed with a new team, which most likely they will, we will let you guys know.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. But yeah, man, it's not much else for me to say other than I hope DeMarcus Cousins finds a new team to play with. I hope he gets comfortable there. You know what I mean? Go up to him and go to the Houston Rockets in the future.